Game Crunch, your weekly video game podcast. My name is Mike Anastasia. With me today we have Nick.
Hello.
And Brandon.
Peace out. I'm
We're
leaving
talk-
already. Hello. I was
Brandon.
literally reading something and it actually said peace, and I just added the out to it instead of saying hello. Holy shit. This is a mess.
Pretty much
I
the
mean, I
same.
think you could have said hello just being like peace or whatever. But then when you
Yeah.
added the out, that was definitely goodbye.
Oh, yeah.
So now when we close the episode, you guys say hello.
I will.
Hola!
Hola.
Oh, God, what's the streamer girl does?
The one that
Bonjour,
sells
hola.
basketball.
No. In Pokemon. We'll talk about it later.
I forgot what her name is. Yeah, but I mean, that's the big thing this week. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are out. And yeah, so we got a
Yep.
lot to talk about on that on a lot of different levels. And we've all played that. So I think that's going to be our big topic this week.
Yeah.
And then some other things. So you guys ready to get into it?
Yes.
All right. Pokemon Violet and Scarlet.
Yeah, sounds
Here
good.
we are.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
talk about that.
Thanks for talking.
Yeah.
How
Alright.
far are you guys in?
So I told Brandon just before the podcast, but I literally rolled credits like 15 minutes before I had
Oh shit.
So I just finished.
Wow.
Yeah. That's right. Where are you?
I just finished the first gym.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, I have done 5 gyms? No, I've done 5 gyms, 4 of the Legends things, and 1 of the Team Star places. That's all I've done.
Okay.
I've
We got a
found
good
2 shinies.
we got a good roundabout, beginning, middle, end.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So this is where I'll start with this conversation, and we can just kind of go from here, I think. So we'll start talking about because we were just talking about how far we've gone.
Yeah.
The whole open world experience of things, because the game in some ways does allow you to go through and do things in any order you want, but in some ways it also does not.
Also, yes.
Because I got into because this game kind of showed they really needed to, how do I put this? They didn't really think through some things with this open world transition.
Okay.
I think the big thing is that the level of Pokemon that you control is tied to gyms still. So I was like, fuck that, I'm not going to the gyms. And then I did 3 Titans and I hit a wall because none of the Pokemon I was catching at that point would obey me. So I was like, fuck, I had to go do some of these gyms now. So I kind of went back around and started doing gyms. But at that point, I was doing things in wildly different order. So, not that there necessarily is a right or wrong order, but there definitely is a wrong order, I guess.
There's definitely a hard mode.
Yeah, it's definitely you can hit a wall if you don't pay attention, and the game really doesn't give you much direction either. You can get to a lot of places and just be like, hey, the first gym I showed up at was not the lowest level gym, so yeah, it just kind of goes that way. I do like though the map does kind of show you which order you've gone through and done things, which is nice. So Nick, you did 1 gym. Which gym did you go to first?
Funny enough, I did the grass gym, even though the starter I chose was Quaxley.
I chose Quaxley also.
It's a good boy.
I did too.
So I brought some fire Pokemon with me and cleaned up shop. I've spent more time just kind of doing other things in the game rather than just proceeding with the main storyline, doing all the gyms and whatnot. So I did spend some time online playing with friends in a group.
Yep. And
doing the Terra battles and whatnot. So that's mostly what I've been doing. So I made it a goal. I was like, I gotta finish 1 gym before we get on tonight, so I can at least talk about that. The grass gym was whatever. The gym challenge thing, I don't know if that's a continuous thing throughout the game.
It is.
But it's stupid.
It is. It doesn't get better.
Just find 10, floors? And I was like, okay, cool. And I turn around, there's 3. I'm like, all right, cool.
Okay,
30% done.
Hold on. That could have been a glitch because if you turn around quick enough, you can duplicate them.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Because I only found 3 when I turned around.
Yeah, see, that's the thing about this game. For a lot of things that people can complain about or be like, man, this game is so easy. My response can be, and probably will be, that might have been a glitch because there's. Oh. Okay. Anyway, we'll save that for a little bit later. But yeah, no, that's stupid, and it gets dumber.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, just find 10 of these boys. I'm like, all right, cool.
There's
I
like a
found 10
fake
of
ass
these boys.
DDR one.
Oh my
Sorry, I
God.
don't mean to spoil them.
you're
It's
fine.
really bad. There's one where you have to push an olive. I cheated on that one. Literally
that
pulled
one
out my
was-
bike and I just hit it and it just knocked it over to the basket like instantly. And I was like, "Let's fucking go!"
Yeah, no, they're all dumb. Every single one
Yep.
of them.
I can't think of
Yeah.
a single good one. Not a
Like,
single one.
every time they've done something different with the gyms, like, I don't think any of the like, gym leader battle things have ever been, like, cool.
Oh.
Like,
The
but
Where's Waldo one is good. I actually thought that was really fun. It was funny. It was stupid, but it was
It was
funny.
funny.
Yeah.
It was not difficult.
No,
Like,
no.
I don't know. Some of it made me wonder though. I'm like, I found him so fast, and I'm like, am I really good
Oh,
at
yeah.
this, or is it just that dumb?
It's just that dumb. But that's why it was like, okay, this is pretty funny. This is alright.
But yeah, now I've always thought like the whatever they have you do before you fight the gym leader, like no matter what game it is, has always just kind of been stupid in some way, shape, or form.
Oh yeah.
And I've decided that the only way they can remedy that is just taking it away and just have the gym
Yep.
leader.
Yeah.
That's the way
Yeah.
it should be.
Like it should, like if you want to put some sort of like challenge in front of it, maybe be like you can't come in until you have like 3 Pokemon this level or something like that. Like something that's actually like a goal that you can attain and
Maybe.
is like I'm just trying to think of like creative ways to do it.
No.
rather than
I
just
get.
be like,
I
here,
totally
fight
get it.
3
I'm just
people.
saying maybe that could work. That
Yeah.
might actually be like a decent idea.
A better thing, yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
But
Or
like,
even
yeah,
if it was just something like, it gets tricky though when you're trying to make a game like this where it's like open world,
Mhm.
yeah,
because
that's fair.
Well, that's why the catching option would work. Like catch so many Pokemon.
Yeah,
Like that would be
do
good.
that
That'd be a good
or-
idea.
Yeah,
It
something.
would make you seek out Pokemon. It would make you explore, and also it would have you have more Pokemon for the fight itself.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, that was dumb. I hated that, and it seems like we're gonna have more of that. So. It's
Oh, it
whatever.
doesn't ever stop.
Yeah, it doesn't. Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't stop.
So-
won't stop. All right, Lucio, when did you get here?
Does he say that?
Yeah, can't stop, won't stop.
I was more so quoting the song and didn't follow up with Holiday Inn, but
Oh,
I mean, I will say, like, as stupid as these gym challenges are, I'd like them better than what they used to be.
I suppose. I mean, they're kind of like easy shit, so like it doesn't take as long, I guess.
Because I really hate it. Like, I don't remember which game it was. Because if you guys remember, I played through a bunch of the Pokemon games not that long ago.
Yes.
Like I binged through most of them.
Yeah.
And so I can't distinguish which gym things were from which one. But I do remember a couple of them being like, hey, you're in this labyrinth and you have to battle a shit ton of people. And if you go the wrong way, you have to battle shit ton more people.
Yes.
And I always hated those ones more. Especially if they were ones kind of like the water temple in like Legend of Zelda, where it's like you have to change something to proceed, and if you went the wrong way, you have to change it back, and switching levers on and off, and it's just like
that makes sense.
like it wasn't hard, it was just annoying, and it's just like I just don't find this fun. And actually that is one thing I do enjoy about this game now, because all the trainer battles otherwise are optional.
Yep.
I've skipped almost all of them. I've done like none. I
Like
didn't
the
do
ones on
any.
like the road.
So,
Yeah.
I've done
so-
a bit of them.
mhm.
Like
I've
none.
done some as well, and the reason why, and you probably don't even know this or you don't care, is the guy that's next to every Pokemon Center. He'll be like, "If you defeat so many more trainers,
Yep.
I'll give you a prize," and that's why I've been defeating
That's
trainers.
what I've
Oh, I
also
know
been
he
doing
does
it.
that. I just don't care.
You just don't care. Yeah, that's what I figured you were about to say.
I did find out though, and I don't know if you guys realize this, because I will admit that I found this out tragically late into my
Okay.
playthrough. But the way you get the Pokemon or the Pokedex prizes, did you realize this?
No.
Because it was not the way that I thought it was. Because it mentioned
Okay,
it
what
when
is it
you
then?
when you started up. They're like, hey, you get prizes for getting your Pokedex evaluated. So I pressed the evaluate button, And it's like, yeah, just fight some more Pokemon. And I was like, that's not helpful, and it didn't do anything. But you actually have to go into like the numbered area where your Pokedex is, and you press the X button. If you look on the bottom, there's a shape of a trophy, and it says X.
Yep.
And if you press that, then it will be like, it will just start giving you prizes. And it'll be like,
shit.
oh, here's some level up cubes. Here's some dusk balls. Here's some like evolution stones.
So what's funny is the game did not organically like explain to me how you do that. I saw it on a TikTok and I was like, oh.
Oh my god.
Like I said, it told me that it was there, but I couldn't find it, and I found it on accident, and I was like, oh. And I feel like that's a lot with this game. Like, it tries to convey information to you, but it does it very poorly. Like, I could not figure out for the life of me how to like do the speed boost on the riding Pokemon. Like, I just was like, I'm like, I know I have it. Which button is it? Some weird design choices with like the buttons too. Like, I hate the B button is crouch, and I like because I always hit it to back out of something, and it just sticks you right into crouch. And I'm just like, no, I just want to get out of that menu. I didn't want
I think the boost button makes sense, especially if you play like modern.
It does. It does. It just it was not what I was like expecting with everything else going on. Like it does make sense. But just I don't know why it was just not the first thing I thought of, and I was just like, is it this button? Is it this button? No.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, it's just kind of weird. But yeah, and actually speaking of the gyms too, one thing, Nick, you are not at this point yet, so you do not realize this. This is not a spoiler, it's just a thing. Brandon, you may have realized this, I don't know.
Go on.
But the gyms don't scale with you in terms of your level.
They sure don't. I came back to the bug gym after for my fourth gym. It was bug gym, and everything was like, all right, I'll level 10. I'm like, I'm 53.
However, the strange thing is, Nimona does.
Interesting.
Oh. Yes. So because as you go to the gym, she'll come up to battle you. She will like be like, oh, let me adjust my team to your level.
She did say that. Yeah. I didn't think she actually meant that. I thought that was like all right then. Okay, that's pretty stupid. All right. Sure.
So it's wild. It's just like, yeah, we couldn't do it for the gyms, but we can do it for your rival. Like, doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it's just
because then like to me, if you're gonna have the gyms at certain levels, you know what that insinuates? A fucking order you're supposed to do them.
Yeah, and there is. I mean, you could look too. I'm looking at Cerebees right now because I wanted to see how different I did the gyms based on like the levels that the gym like Pokemon are.
Yeah,
and there's like obviously if you look at them, like like the first gym goes from 14 to 15, the second gym picks up 16 to 17. Like there is a set order that you would think that these gyms are supposed to go through.
Yeah, but the game doesn't tell you that order.
Yeah, and it doesn't give you a hint even what that order may be.
Yeah.
So as you explore organically, you just might come to a gym that is, not the same level as the next one. The two closest gyms together are not even supposed to be done. They're remotely close, but they're not ones that you would do. Like they're at least based on level, you wouldn't do them in order the way that this is. Yeah, it's weird. Just like I said, there's just some weird decision making in this. Yeah, I don't know. Does it necessarily break it? I don't think so. Because I think in the cases of those two gyms, I was already over leveled for both of them by the time I got there. So,
interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. And like the Titans seem like a big thing to get done. I focused on the Titans mostly from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because they unlock specific traversal methods.
Yeah.
So, having those
that's the most important thing, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because really, at the end of the day, you need them to get around. If you don't have them, you can't do it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So that's just kind of where I focus most of my energy on. The other thing is like the Team Star missions. They're just kind of low payoff, low like challenge.
Why am I not surprised?
Have you done any of them yet?
I've done a single one.
Okay. The last one I actually think is the highest level thing you do in the game.
Okay.
Cool.
Because like, yeah, it's highest level thing you do in the game prior to the Elite Four or whatever it's called in this game. It's kind of like your lead up to that. but it's still is just kind of like, whatever. We're here. We don't really do anything. Like I think that's my big thing with like how this was set up. Like the Titans, obviously, like they have a good reward, but I feel like maybe with the like the being able to like have Pokemon under your control or whatever, that should either been tied to the Pokedex or tied to the overall events that you have done, but not necessarily tied specifically to the gyms. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Because I don't think those necessarily need to be tied to badges anymore if you're going to do an open world game like this. Because like getting to the Elite Four is kind of like its own part of the story, so you don't really need to tie like the progression to the Pokemon you can or cannot catch or whatever with this one. So
I have a weird thing to bring up because you're talking about, can or cannot catch, will not listen to you.
Yeah.
I called a level 45, right?
Yeah.
And I only had 2 gym badges, and it didn't give me any trouble. I just demolished the rest of the gyms with a level 45.
yeah,
It didn't do a thing where it's like, it won't listen to you. It was just like, cool, bro, let's do it. And then
let's
just did
fucking get it, bro.
Right, that's exactly what happened.
I've noticed it's not. I'm not sure if it's kind of like has to do with the Pokemon personality or like the specific type of Pokemon. I've noticed that some Pokemon are worse at it than others, and I'm not really sure why.
Yeah, it was the Toxa, whatever the fuck it is, the big, what I'm talking about, right?
Toxicity.
Yeah, that one. I had that at like level 45. I caught it, and then I only had 2 gym badges at the time, and then I was just like, oh, I guess I'll just take this then. And then I just wrecked through the rest of the gyms with the level 45 toxicity, and it didn't give me any problems whatsoever. It was just like, let's do this. And I was just like, okay, all right, sure, cool.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know why they do or they don't. I mean, I had one that I had on earlier in the game, and I think I caught it. Well, I caught it before I had any gym badges, and it was like a level 30, and it was like, I mean, my Pokemon were like similarly leveled, so it's not like it was just wildly out of place. I think some of it might have to do with what level your like starter Pokemon is, to be honest, but I don't know.
So my starter Pokemon, since I played a lot online and I did a lot of those dins, the first night, literally, my starter Pokemon, I was like, all right, so I have all these XP things. I'm going to crush them into my starter Pokemon. So I like started leveling that thing hard very quickly. Yeah. So if that is the case, then maybe it's not tied to gyms. Maybe it's tied to your starter Pokemon. Maybe like if you have like your starter Pokemon at pretty high level and then you go to catch another Pokemon, it's just like, oh shit, that thing's fucking spooky. I better listen to this man or else he'll fucking sick it on me.
Yeah, I wouldn't surprise me if there's another mechanic to it. Because in that particular situation where I had, my starter Pokemon was maybe like 5 levels lower. And then as they started to like even out, like it became less of an issue. There was one later in the game that I caught that was, I think, like level 60, but my Pokemon were about the same, but I was still like not at the point where I had the gym badges for it, and it didn't give me any issues. So those are the 2 at least off the top of my head I can think. I'm sure there were more.
I think the one that I called that was 45, my starter was like 39 or 40 at the time. So like 5 apart or something like that. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
It didn't want to get in the ball. I can tell you that much. It was a bitch to go into the Pokeball. I actually have a problem with too many Pokemon that are lower level just not getting in the damn Pokeball.
Yes,
and that's a big issue.
Yeah,
I've had that issue quite a bit.
And then I try to hurt them so they can get in the ball. It's like fucking one shot. I'm like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There was a Quillfish I found yesterday that was level 15, and of course it didn't get in my quick ball. And then so I'm just like, well, I don't have anything that can attack you, so I'm like, I'm just gonna sit here and keep spamming Ultra Balls at you until you get in one. And it did, but it took a lot longer than I thought it should. But that's also kind of why what I was saying earlier, Brandon. Like I feel like this game probably could have benefited more, I think, from some of the Arceus stuff. Because, well, trying to throw a fucking Pokeball in this game is a joke.
Yeah.
They go all sorts of random places because it targets the closest Pokemon to you, not necessarily what you're looking at.
Yeah.
So you got that aspect of it. Like throwing mechanic in Arceus was just like chef's kiss. Like it
Can't
was.
you hold left trigger and then press right? Can't you do that to lock
You
on?
could look. It won't necessarily throw it where you're looking.
I haven't had any trouble with that, but okay, I understand.
Oh no, like you can look.
Mhm.
Like you'll see. Like it's not like it necessarily aims. It's just gonna throw it. Just in general. Like I've had things where I'm like looking up to like a Pokemon in a tree, and it still will throw just the Pokeball just straight forward.
Okay.
Unless it can lock onto the Pokemon, like pull up its information, it's not going to throw it at that Pokemon. So, yeah, it's wild. Like I don't know how much you played around with it. It's not reliable.
Understandable.
Yeah. And the other thing with this game too, which I kind of like, we talk about like straying away from the Pokemon formula. Like the fact that you can just have your Pokemon just out of its ball and just go around and auto attack everything.
I don't do that. I keep it in it. I say fuck off. I ain't doing that shit. I think that's really stupid because you can two reasons. One, you can kill a shiny that way. So no thank you.
Supposedly they stop if they find a shiny.
You sure? Because I don't think that's true.
I had seen someone like one of the Pokemon streamers say that. I've not confirmed it. I've not looked farther into it than that.
All right.
That is just what I had seen.
Okay, understandable. Now, let me give you just a little bit of information, all right? Okay, just a tiny bit of information. All right, so this person is trying to say that Game Freak programmed a Pokemon to stop when there is a shiny in front of it and not instantly kill it. The same Game Freak that made this game programmed that into this game. I'm gonna call bullshit because I've played Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Okay, they did some smart things in here. Some. And the issue is not necessarily like the thinking through with some of their things. It's that they spent zero time optimizing anything. That's the biggest issue.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I would argue that they also didn't think through things because of the way the map is designed. It's very haphazardly designed.
Yes, it
to a fault.
It's not a good map design.
No.
Honestly,
Also,
I
lose
think
my
it really
bearings a lot.
shows in the later areas, especially when you're trying to get to like the Ice Mountain gym. It is hell trying to get there.
I don't know if there's any way to turn this off, but I tend to lose my bearings a lot when I'm trying to look at the map because depending on which way you're facing in the world is how the map orients itself.
Oh, it took me days to figure out how to turn that off. I can tell you right now.
That shit's annoying because it's like, all right, I'm going this way, then I start walking that way, then I open up, I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, no, if you push in, I think it's either the left or right stick. If you look at the map, it actually has it on the key there. I didn't realize what it was. It locks the map to north being up, and that makes a huge difference.
Works for me.
Yeah, because the map will always be up when you pull it. Because every time I opened the map, I was so disoriented. I was like, I don't even know where the fuck this city is.
Yep.
Like, I can't figure out where I am. Yeah, no. Why they made the map spin like that? They shouldn't even made an option. Like, just keep the map just in one direction so I know where I'm looking. Or at least it shouldn't have been the default option. Like, it's just wild. Yeah, lock that map in. Makes a big difference.
Oh yeah, me too.
I can't remember what I was going to say, but yes,
we were talking about how well the game is built or lack thereof.
So
you were saying it's optimization.
You know what's funny about this is that I've seen a lot of people complaining about, like, I don't want to say complaining in a bad way because it's all valid criticism, but I've seen like a lot of people complaining about things with the game and whatnot. And like I've had luckily very minimal issue. Like I've had frame rate issues out the ass.
You're only at the first gym. I promise you, it gets worse.
And like clipping issues, but I haven't seen like any like. There was the one video I saw of like the one character and like their body was like their torso was spinning, but like the lower part of their body was like planted.
I'll be honest too. I haven't had like this game is just it's jank.
Yeah,
but I've not had any like wild issues. I had the game hard crash on me twice.
4 times here.
And I think like the worst visual disturbance I've gotten that's not been like a frame rate or just like the low Like,
the 2 FPS classroom?
yeah, the 2 FPS class.
Bro, I posted a video of that to my Twitter because it's hilarious. Because when you watch it, Nimona has perfect frame rate.
Yeah.
Everybody else is like 10 FPS.
Well, you know what's weird too? Because I went into one of the classroom, like, because you can take classes later in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I went into one of the classes later, and everyone moved normal. So I don't know what the fuck they did in that like particular scene.
Boys,
Like,
boys, I need to remind you, because I know you're saying, oh, I didn't have this happen or that happen or everything. I just need to share this video with you guys one more time, so you can just just see it. Here you go. This is what happened to me the first night I played.
Yeah.
I believe crazy stuff has happened. Don't get me wrong.
Okay, so there is a very severe and very obvious clipping issue where when a Pokeball goes through something, it despawns like the world around you. It no longer exists. And that is an actual problem when you're attempting to catch a Pokemon if something is in front of it, such as a tree or another item or what have you, like a bridge or whatever. That's why you see some of those videos where like the person throws it and the Pokemon's right at the bridge, and when the Pokeball hits, the entire world disappears, including the grass and everything runs at like 3 FPS after that. Like, for instance, in the video I'm showing right now, when I threw a Pokeball, it despawn the grass, the like world around me, all of the textures and everything, and then the Pokeball just sat there for like a good 5 seconds. It didn't even move. It was just like, and then as it started moving, the slowdown was so bad because it was zooming in on where the clipping was in the first place. So if you like look at it, it's kind of like when you call out something, like you're not looking at that thing at the moment, so there's no reason for us to render in all the stuff in the background. And I'm pretty sure that's something they have to do in this game to get it to run as shittily as it already is running. Like, it would run worse if they didn't.
Yeah.
And I mean, that shows like 2 things. All right, like, one, Switch hardware, it ain't it, bro. It ain't it.
Okay,
this ain't it.
I'm just gonna say this because I know we're gonna get into it anyways.
Okay,
but
yeah.
I know the Switch is not like up to par with current specs. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. This is 100% on Game Freak.
I agree. I agree.
And I would, if this game looked good, I would be like, oh yeah, Brandon, you're right. Like, it's
did you notice how I said one, as in I had another point to make? I had another point to make.
I know. I mean, you can. I'm just saying, like, Xenoblade 3 looks fantastic, does not have his issues. Like, Bayonetta looks great, does not have his issues. Like, this one is so entirely on Game Freak.
Game Freak can't make games. They just can't. They came over from the DS, from handhelds and that sort of thing. And the Switch, even though it is a handheld, is also a home console. And they don't know how to make games for something like that.
They just don't know. The issue was even with the 3DS, though, too, when they were trying to make... It's been their transition from pixels to polygons.
Yeah.
Because Moon and Sun were shitballs, too.
Awesomely
I hated Moon.
I was trying to get to.
Yeah, they fucking suck at making games.
They can't make games.
I'm curious, though, too. Is it Game Freak at fault, or is it the Pokemon Company, or is it even Nintendo? Because my thing is, they've put out a lot of games, a lot of large games in the past couple years, like back to back to back. Mm-hmm. So, like, I didn't feel like this game needed to come out now, but I'm wondering if, like, they're feeling pressure from the Pokemon Company because they want to release the new Pokemon cards, but they can't release the new Pokemon cards, I guess, until they're in a game. Like, I don't know what the economy is of that, but, like, you think about it, they released what? Sword and Shield, the DLC for Sword and Shield, the remakes of what? Diamond and Pearl.
Yes.
Arceus.
Well, within the span of the last year, we had the remakes of Diamond, Pearl, Arceus, and this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever this is.
So you had this is Gen 9, Scarlet and Violet. So you had Gen 8, Gen 9, a remake, and then another basically full scale game. Like, that's a lot.
Yeah. I really think what they should do, like, this is kind of like my final thoughts on this, is that they should take like the management team of Pokemon Arceus, and combine these two teams into one, and that should be whatever the next Pokemon is.
I have a very bad feeling that is what they already tried to do and why this game is as half-baked as it is. I think, personally, and hear me out, I think Arceus did so well for them, and people liked that thing so much so. And I think we kind of alluded to this, or maybe talked about it, or it might have been me talking with someone else, that when they saw how that was, they kind of rushed to implement features from that into this game. And as such, this game is half-baked. It's literally, it's in an unacceptable state. This game is unacceptable. If this game was released by EA, everyone would be shitting on it. They
know
would
what's
be
funny?
ripping it apart.
It's not only that is unacceptable, but it's unacceptable for the largest money-making media franchise.
Yeah.
Like Pokemon? This is the effort we put into a Pokemon game?
Yeah. It's honestly unacceptable. When I can sit here and be like, all right, guys, so how about those frame rate issues? And you two are going to be like, my God, that's when you know something's wrong. That's when you know something's wrong.
Like if
when
I'm there and I'm like, the frame rate's bad in this game, like you know it's bad.
Oh yeah, then you know like, oh wait, shit. It
Wait a
might be
minute.
really bad.
I mean, I can confirm right now, like there's frame rate issues in the credits. Like,
oh my God,
I
like
thought game was gonna break when I was collecting the
stuttering
floors.
there.
Like when I was collecting the floors, like they all had probably like across them like 5 frames, and I was like, oh no.
Like this is this should have probably sat around for at least another 6 months. And the thing is too, like I saw an interesting, I don't remember where it was, but someone made this comment. Like they know the bugs are there, obviously. Like, you can't miss them. But they did some things like there's a bug where you can get trapped into like an endless fall animation.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
But it ends. Like it's like they realize it's there, but they didn't have time to fix the issue. So they made it so that eventually it just stops and respawns you.
Yes.
It's just very weird.
That means the developers realized it was there.
Yeah. No,
They
exactly.
didn't
Yeah,
give a
fix
fuck.
it, but let's make it like not as bad.
Yeah, they're like, we're not pushing this release date. It's coming out. Which is, I mean, and that aspect too, actually, I guess back to kind of Nick's thing, like that definitely has to be more on like the Pokemon side of things, because Nintendo, as we've seen themselves,
they'll wait.
They'll be like, we're not like Zelda, like we'll fucking sit on this shit for years until it's
like that's Zelda.
like perfect.
I honestly think Game Freak is just lazy, and they know they can get away with it, so they just don't give a damn.
That's what I'm saying. Is it Game Freak or is it the Pokemon Company?
I think it's Game Freak.
I think you're probably. I think Nick's probably actually more right, because I bet it has to do more with the marketing tie-ins, because you can't move those around. Like you got cards waiting, you got shit that needs to go out, you got the anime that needs to start up. Like everything is waiting on this game coming out, and until it does, you're kind of just fuck it. It's probably cheaper in the long run for them to release this game in this state than to push it back.
Everybody's gonna buy it regardless.
Yeah,
we all did. We saw it. We all did.
Yeah.
Like, not to call anybody out here, because I'm included in that, but like they know they're gonna buy it anyway. And one of the main reasons I stopped playing Pokemon for a while is because the 3DS ones were like really unplayable. Like, these games are bad. Don't get me wrong. Sun and Moon, were literally unplayable. That game did not function on 3DS.
And I will say, I mean,
this game is not worse. This game is
way worse.
No,
you're
delusional.
This game is no.
I think the big difference is it's the gameplay in this game is functional, as opposed to like.
Wait, hold on. We had a conversation a second ago about how it's obtuse, things aren't really spelled out for you, it's given to you in the most ass-backwards way, and on top of that, the gyms are just thrown in any which way, but there's a specific order you're supposed to go in. We've talked about the glitches, we talked about the game crashing on us.
Mm-hmm.
I've had 4, you've had 2, right?
Yeah.
So that's 6 times that a game has crashed on us. We're talking about that. We're talking about all of this. We're talking about all the glitches. We're talking about all the stuff. And you're still saying this is more functional than the past games?
Well,
Bullshit.
no. Let me finish my thought, because you cut me off before I even finished. My point was that compared to Sun and Moon, this game is actually fun. I did not have fun with.
You know
Sun
what?
and Moon.
You know what? That right
That
there,
tracks.
I will agree with you. I think this is a way better and more fun game than Sun and Moon. I don't think it's a better made game than Sun and Moon, because
No.
you know what? Sun and Moon never crashed on me.
No.
Never hard crashed on me.
Nope.
Sun and Moon didn't make it so I had to turn on autosave because I was afraid of losing my fucking content that I had been working on for hours and playing and whatnot. Sun and Moon
there is
didn't... Go on.
There is that secret code to like pull up the secret backup save. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but if for some reason someone runs into that issue, like just Google it. There's like a button code that pulls up a secret backup save if for some reason your save gets corrupted. So
Okay.
just keep that in the back of your head.
That's good information. I might come back to you and ask how to do that later on, because I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. But I had to continue my thoughts. Sun and Moon didn't have me falling through the floor.
Go on.
I'm trying not to laugh. I'm just Sun and Moon didn't have it so that the bicycle. And yes, it's a Pokemon in this game, but the bicycle, whenever I jumped on it, my game's frame rate instantly allowed me to see every frame of animation with that fucking bicycle. I mean, there's a lot wrong with this game. Yeah, Sun and Moon ran poorly. It ran slightly better if you turned off the 3D, but it ran poorly.
I don't think
and
that
also...
would even let you have 3D. Don't you remember they stopped doing that like halfway through the 3DS?
You know what? I was thinking of the other one, but okay,
Yeah.
Sun and Moon, it ran better than on a new 3DS. But anyway, moving on from that, I couldn't remember which one it was of that. But my point.
But I mean, that's just
with
also
that,
the point with the Pokemon company. It's like we couldn't even figure out how to make it run with 3D. We had to turn it off.
Yes. Yes. But what I wanted to say about Sun and Moon was Sun and Moon sucked. I didn't like Sun and Moon one bit. I thought it was a garbage game, and it made me not want to play Pokemon anymore for a while because of just how bad Sun and Moon was. So I'll 100% give you that Sun and Moon was a garbage game. This game is worse on a technical standpoint, because in Sun and Moon, like, at least it was a consistent 15 FPS.
Yeah.
This isn't. This is not a consistent any FPS. I may be walking up to someone and damn, bro, you're standing next to me and moving at 3 frames. What the fuck am I supposed to do with this shit? It's like it's at a point in this game where the things that you would see like off in the distance in other games, like even for Arceus, let's use Arceus as an example. The birds in Arceus off in the distance, they're running at half frame rate or less.
But they were like way off in the distance.
Yeah, here they're right fucking next to you, and they're running at way less than half frame rate.
Like, I mean, it really just, to me, like, in retrospect, looking at
It's almost like a
Arceus.
clip show at points in this
Well, I
game.
mean, Arceus was like a very solidly built, like, pseudo open world Pokemon game, like open area, whatever they call it.
Yeah. Open zone or some shit.
Yeah, and actually, even too, like, this game reminds me a lot in some ways, like how, because I don't know how recently you guys have been back to Sword and Shield, but how haphazardly those, what were they called, like the areas in them where it was kind of like the random spawning, just free, like open area, like free roam portions.
I can't remember.
No idea.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because those were all garbage, and it had the exact same issues, and it was even a smaller area. Because it'd be like I would be on the bicycle there, and just all of a sudden be like in a Pokemon battle because one randomly decided
appeared in front of you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's worse here. It's way worse.
I actually, surprisingly, I might actually to some degree disagree on that one. But they're both shit. Like, it's
I was
not...
gonna say in the cave. I'm going to give this example for mine. In the cave in this game, when you're traveling in the cave, if you're moving fast enough on your little bike Pokemon guy thingy. I literally ran into those sandile fucking crocodiles like 4 times because they hadn't spawned in, but I stepped on one that wasn't there and was invisible. So the game was like, "Uh-oh, hey, welcome back. Here, fight this guy." And I was like, "What the fuck? I didn't even see you here."
Yeah, it's some of that stuff's annoying too, because like you'll get ones that you'll get because the Pokemons will still get like aggressive while you're in battle too. And so like while you're in battle, they'll like move to be on top of you. And so like when you're done with the battle, you'll instantly go into another battle again. And it's like why? Why do you make decisions like this? I don't understand.
Oh,
And the
there
ghost
is
Pokemon, I don't know if they're supposed to be disappearing on purpose or not. Like,
No, I think they're supposed to be disappearing on purpose. I'm give them that one. I think that one is by design. Not 100% sure, but I think it is.
we'll give
What-
them the
what-
benefit of the doubt on that one.
Yeah,
It's
they
a
get the
ghost
benefit of the
thing.
doubt on this one. Yeah, it's a ghost. But what I do want to bring up is there's also a very strong difference on how this game performs for some reason, depending on the style and version of Switch you have.
Oh,
And
really?
that
Really?
has been found as well. Yes, so I have a launch Switch, like day 1 launch Switch,
Mine is as well.
and it's yeah. So Katie has the red box Switch, and
Okay.
she's I think had 1 crash, period, and she's experienced a lot of the same stuff as me, but it almost seems like not her frame rate or anything like that. Like it's still awful. The frame rate is still awful,
So,
but it seems more consistently awful. Where mine is like awful and then awfuler a lot. And I've seen that multiple times on different hardware. It's really weird, and I don't understand.
I would
Yeah,
say to
Nick,
give
huh?
any sort of input for that. I have the Animal Crossing Switch,
Yes.
and my girlfriend has the Switch OLED that she bought last year.
Yes.
And we've had similar issues, me and her,
hmm
but we haven't had any critical failures like you guys have had.
Like we have. Yeah. Yeah.
Like last night we were playing online with some friends, and I got on my Miraidon, and fuck it looked like I was driving the Invisible Boatmobile because there was just nothing. There was nothing. It was just me in a seated position. And this was on her Switch. I was just sitting on nothing. So then it loaded in. But I also noticed too, like, when we were playing online last night, we were doing the Terra battles. As
Yeah.
a group.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
me, her, my friend, and his girlfriend as well.
Mhm.
And like when we come out of the Terra battles, my loading screen to go back into the game, no bullshit, like 5 minutes long.
That's
Ew.
crazy.
Where like she got right back into it.
hmm
And now, mind you, also too, I'm playing docked and she's playing handheld. If just to give you that bit of information as well.
Mhm.
But yeah, like that's kind of where like online pretty much worked, but it was very sluggish, at least on my Switch. Like once I got into things, cool.
Mhm.
But like while we were like in the transition of things, it was not cool or good.
Yeah. That's kind of the online's fine. Like I actually think the online is the best part of this game.
Yeah.
You can just be really goofy and silly and stupid with your friends online, and it's a blast. It's actually legitimately fun.
Uh-huh.
And it seems to just kind of work more or less. And I also like the fact that I can literally just go anywhere while still connected to an online server with someone and just not give a shit essentially. And I like that. I like that element of the game. I think that's a really good choice and a really good way / direction to take future Pokemon games. I don't like many other things. I do like the game. I do like. I like.
Well,
I
oh,
don't
sorry.
know. I don't know. I don't know how to formulate it. I'm having fun. Like
Yeah.
that's the
The
thing.
weird
At the
part.
end of the day, I'm having fun. This is a bad game. This is objectively, from like a whole package, a bad game.
Yes,
If you take the
correct.
whole package, it is. But I'm having fun with it, and that's where I'm torn. Because I have this year's kind of been pretty light on the fun category of games, in my
Yeah.
opinion. And I'm having fun with this, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, I legitimately would like to put this in a top list for this year, glitches and all. And some of these glitches are fucking hilarious, to be completely honest. They're so derpy. It's like, all right, that's pretty funny. Like, have you guys seen the one where you could take a selfie while the boulders are coming down and they just phase through?
Oh
them?
yeah.
No, I haven't seen that. I
one's
saw though if you take a selfie and you change your facial expression,
Yes, you can
like
get
it
locked
stays.
permanently to depression for your character's facial expression.
The only visual, the only significant, I would say, visual glitch that I've had, which it's funny enough to me that I've taken like pictures of, like a video of it, is like sometimes my character when I go into a battle will appear too close to the Pokemon, like it'll be standing right in front of it. So I'll go to throw a Pokeball, and he'll throw it forward, and it will go arc over his back behind him. And then we'll try to catch the Pokemon that way. It's just it's the wildest. It's like he's doing like a hook shot over his back.
He's like,
just
in the video I showed, the Pokeball that gets thrown, it actually turns around backwards in like one quick snapping motion to catch the Pokemon. It's really fucking funny. But yeah, I'm torn, like I said, because this is, and I agree with Nick, this is a much better Pokemon game than something like, I'm even gonna say Sword and Shield. I think this is better than Sword and Shield.
Oh, I agree.
It is. Yeah, it is. I couldn't play Sword and Shield.
But like, I didn't even buy the
forgot
DLC. I didn't even buy the DLC. I was just like, fuck it, I don't care.
Oh, I legitimately could. You're right. I legitimately could not play. Oh, that's why I didn't fucking. You know what's funny? I was thinking to myself
while you were playing it. Yeah.
No. I was thinking to myself why I couldn't finish Sword and Shield or why I didn't, and I remembered why now. Fucking when I got my Animal Crossing Switch, Pokemon is one of those saves that doesn't transfer over.
I thought you lost it when your Switch was stolen.
No.
I thought that was that one. No?
No, that was... There was other games with that one. I think it was... I don't remember what it was now. But no, Pokemon Sword and Shield came out after that. So...
But yeah, this is better than Sword and Shield. This is better than the Diamond and Pearl remakes. It's not better than Arceus. It's not better than Arceus. I think Arceus is really fucking good.
And but even too, I will say, just Arceus, like, just to kind of give them another thing that I thought they did really well, was like the movement on the Pokemon stuff so much better than in this game.
Oh yeah, this game feels okay, but here's the thing. Mike. Is the movement on the Pokemon in Arceus better because it's like designed better, or is it better because its frame rate is more consistent? That's the question that I have to lay.
Purely,
you think so?
Super design.
All right.
And you will see when you unlock all the Titan things, because one you definitely don't have. I know because we talked about it. That one sucks in this game.
The glider one sucks.
And the glider sucks too. That was the other one I was going to say. Because in Arceus, you could glide almost indefinitely. You couldn't get height, but you would just kind of slowly drift. In this game, the glider goes for maybe like a minute, and then you're done. That's it. Like, and it's just kind of like you can't really get too far with it. It's great for short distance, like very short distances. Like if you need to get over a gap on a mountain or something, sure, that's great. But if you need to like do anything like get up to a further away point, no, it's not helpful. The other one that I was going to say too, the other movie is not really a secret. Like obviously you have to know it's in this game too. The climbing sucks. Yeah. Fucking garbage.
It doesn't suck if you just back jump up the
sides of mountains. That's true. He's got a Skyrim horse it.
So that aspect of it it's just not really well done in this game. And granted, Arceus had it so set up through like different Pokemon, but they were pretty seamless. So you could switch between them. So I mean, I guess it's one advantage between the two. Like this one is all one Pokemon, so you don't have to go back and forth. But Arceus was just kind of, it just worked. Everything worked really nicely together. This one is just, it's a bunch of jank in one place.
Why is this better? than past
I
Pokemon?
think I
That's a
know. I
question I
think I know
wanted
why.
to present to you guys. Why do you think this is better?
You know why?
Why?
This one has Fido in it.
That was my first shiny. That was my first shiny. I got it 2 hours into the game.
I think there's a lot of aspects about this that makes it better. I think the Pokemon layout is better thought out.
Okay.
Because in Sword and Shield, I think it was called the Wild Areas. Maybe is that what it was?
Maybe
Like shit was
Wildlands
fucking
was
random. Yeah, and like there's no rhyme or reason to the Pokemon that you would see. Like
Mhm.
this one kind of like teases them out to you. Like it
Okay.
does a little bit more. This game does more of the thing that was worked really well with Breath of the Wild, where it's like, it kind of hints at you to go in one direction and explore on your own, and there's usually rewards for it. The other ones I don't think really had that. And the other nice thing with this game too is like, if I want to tell Nimona to fuck off, I can basically tell her to fuck off. Look, I'm like, I don't want to do the bad gym challenges right now.
Yeah,
I'm not doing
fuck
it.
you, bitch.
Yeah.
And when I would go to the gym and they would ask me questions, I've been very obtuse with like how I've answered like the questions in this game. I'd be like, oh, why are you challenging the gyms? And then it will give you like the choices.
Oh my god!
Like,
Hold on, I have to tell you this one. It's hilarious because my friend did it. This is a tiny bit of a spoiler, but you'll only know it's a spoiler if you do it. And if you do it, you're an idiot. So I'll just go ahead and tell you this anyway. Please listen, because it's fucking hilarious. My friend got to the Elite Four, and they were like, so, did you train up and are you here ready to challenge me? Are you going to fight us? And he's just like, no. And they just kicked him out.
So I did. I can actually tell you what it was because I actually did the same thing and I got kicked out as well. So what it does, it's like, why are you? Yeah, it basically is like, why are you here to challenge the Elite Four? And the options are like to become like the strongest that ever was.
Yeah.
And the next one's like to be a better rival for Nimona, and the last one was like, I guess just because I'm here. That's what
it's like because I felt like it. Because I felt like it.
Because I felt like it.
I don't know because I felt like it, and then they just kick you out for not having immediately.
Yeah, it happened to me too. Yeah, I'm like, that's literally why I'm here. I'm not here because I want to do it. I'm here because I need it to progress the story, and that's the only way.
If I don't, my purchase will be in vain.
Yeah, right.
I will say, actually, kind of just since we kind of just touched on it too, the story bits for this game, actually, I found the story lines in this game actually to be some of the more enjoyable ones that have been in recent Pokemons too.
Are we talking about the dog?
That was kind of like tragic in some ways because it reminded me a lot of what I went through last year when we put my dog to sleep.
I don't need to know more. I haven't finished it, and I'm pretty sure that it's going there, and I'm really sad already.
No, I don't. I don't know. It was heartwarming and sad at the same time.
Yeah.
You'll see. I don't think a lot of the stuff is kind of predictable the way the story goes. I don't. Every single twist that's come up, I've just been like, it's obvious.
Yeah.
But you'll see. Like I just kind of I think overall though, like the story hit the right notes that I wanted it to, and it was not like the weird because Pokemon stories go in really weird places where someone takes a absolute right turn that makes no sense. You don't really have anything like that in this game. Everything's literally as it seems, and it makes sense in the way that it goes. So. I said I found it to be enjoyable, and I was just like, "Wow, this story's not absolute trash." I kind of understand where it is, and I guess in terms of like there's always like an overarching story that's kind of like, "Oh, we got to save the world." Like it kind of actually makes sense in this game, and it really was not, again, out of left field. It kind of just is like, okay, I can see where this is coming from. It's not some deranged lunatic that did something crazy.
I will say, Clive made me laugh the first time I met him.
Hello, fellow children.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking shows up with a skateboard and a backpack. How are we doing today, fellow kids?
I refuse to call him Clive the entire game.
Yeah, same. So far, same. Yeah, that's what I've done too.
You'll know Nick, when you get to the point where you know what we're talking about, you'll know exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, and you'll be like, all right, that's good. That's good. I like it.
I mean, it's charming. Like
Yeah.
I like it's dumb. Like every time it happens, I'm like dumb, but I'm like I don't hate it.
The first time it happened, it was the first night, obviously, because I played this once it came out, and I just fucking started rolling laughing because I wasn't expecting it, and then that's just like, oh, okay, that's what we're doing, cool.
I mean, I will say too, like I don't love Nimona, but like she's definitely better than Hop
Fine.
or whatever.
yeah.
Hop was like really annoying. Yeah, she's fine. She's just what it is. She's just an overachiever. They're like, well, I would hate you if we were in school together, but I'm like, you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I think that's all I really would say about the story.
Good
But
game that
and
doesn't run good.
the other thing that we actually have not talked about Pokemon either, and I feel like it's actually essential for talking about Pokemon, is the actual Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I think that's Fido.
I actually, I was gonna say, I actually, out of all the recent generations too, I actually like most of the Pokemon that are new in this game.
Yep, I feel the same way. Yeah.
The evolution for, what is it? B-Sharp? Is that what it is?
Bisharp.
Yeah, Bisharp. Fucking amazing.
Okay.
Like that is one of the best Pokemon evolutions that I've seen in a long time.
Nice.
And especially too, considering like I don't know what generation Bisharp was from. Like it was an old one, like 3 or 4, I think. But it actually like it fucking wrecks. It's great.
Nice.
I'm trying to think some other. I mean, I guess I'll look at the Pokedex really fast too. But yeah, some of the other ones that were in this game, like I just think that they were really good. Like there's none where I'm just like, oh my god, they made a set of keys into a thing like that. Like the other one, I love the Tumbleweed Pokemon.
Yeah.
That one's really cool.
What about the bear that you combine and it just makes more bears?
The mouse?
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. The mouse. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's
random.
random.
That one's good. Yeah.
Yeah. That dolphin that I showed you earlier.
Yeah,
it's got
that you
like
evolved.
Yeah. It's got a really cool, like its twist is like if you once you put it out and pull it back, it goes into like hero form.
Yep.
Like I guess it's supposed to be like a take on like Superman, and its hero form is just delicious.
Oh, it's goofy. Yeah, it's very goofy.
Yeah.
My friend was using him last night.
What was it now?
The dolphin.
Okay.
No, what is it? I forgot what it was just called, and I told you what it was earlier when you asked.
Oh, yes.
Finizen. That's what it is. Finizen.
Yep.
Yeah. That one is excellent. Trying to see what else they did. And I think they did a good job with the Pokemon in terms of the ones that they brought back.
Mm-hmm.
Like making sure that they were grouped together well.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. Like if you're walking into like, I don't know, the desert. Like the desert Pokemon are like well picked. Like I feel like in Sword and Shield, like some of the Pokemon that you would encounter there would be like, this doesn't make any sense. Like why is he here? I do like some of the names that they've come up for them too. Like, did you guys see the Salt Pokemon yet?
Yes, I did.
Knackley? I think I did.
Yeah, Knackley.
Yeah.
Do you know what the joke is with it?
Yes, it's the element.
Yeah, NaCl. That's like the chemistry for salt, sodium and chloride. So all the forms of NaCl, Knackley, NaCli.
Oh, you know, there's a new crab type Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
So I was walking around and I just saw one randomly on the side of a mountain, and it was like, Jesus Christ, I just dropped my phone, and it was like gigantic.
Yeah, that's
like absolutely massive.
Yeah, that's you're not doing the Titan battles yet, are you?
I don't think it was no. He was just. I mean, he was just a guy.
I think that's probably one of the Titans' name.
I guess. He didn't look special. He just looked like a big version.
Yeah,
yeah.
All I can think of was giant enemy crab.
Yeah, you got attacking weak point for massive damage, my dude.
Yeah.
There's lots of like dog Pokemon in this game too.
There is.
Because you got the Mabastiff, and then you have like the ghost dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
you also got the Mega Man X Pokemon.
Mega Man X Pokemon.
Yes. Hold on. He not Mega Man EXE. He looks like Mega Man EXE from Battle Network. Trying to find when he's purple in Violet, he looks like. Hold on.
Oh, you're talking about the ones like the one that evolves different in each game?
Yes.
Rulage and Armorage.
Yeah, Cruelage looks like Mega Man.
I could see that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't know. Like I said, I really like the Pokemon in this one. Like I said, I think they did a great job with them.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's good. Like it's a good game, and it sucks I have to say that because
a year it'll probably be a great game.
Bad game.
Yeah.
It will be interesting to see what they do with the DLC for this, because it's inevitably coming. I didn't realize it until I don't know. I think today as well. But there's that weird part of the map in like the northeast that's just kind of like barred out, like not like the rest of the place where it's like oceans or whatever. It's just like it just stops.
Maybe I haven't checked that place.
Yeah, just if you just look at the map, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's just kind of like just there's bars there, like you can't just go there. Whether or not that means that's what that is, I don't know. But I thought it was just weird that they just I don't know didn't do something else to like stop you from going. Maybe it's the end of this area, and that's just what they did. And they're just going to have you. A lot of people thought you would be having you go to the I don't know, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet equivalent of the Canary Islands or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. And I think there's enough story hooks in there too that if they were going to carry over something from the end of this that they wanted to do, then they could do that as well. So. Because they do, listen, the way that they wrap up the story is very satisfying, but it also leaves the door open to, like, if they wanted to expand on some of the stuff that they didn't really talk about, they could. And there was some interesting data mine stuff, too, that they had seen. Whether or not it amounts to anything, it could just be there for home, but just kind of like some evolution items for Pokemon that are not in this game are available through... There's an auction house in this game that you can go to, and they'll sell you evolution items. And a lot of times they're based on Pokemon that are in your party.
Oh, I think I went to that auction house because the last fucking gym was like, oh my god, that gym was stupid for the gym.
No, that's exactly where you were.
Yeah. Oh my god, can I tell Nick that gym battle? The gym test because it was so fucking dumb.
It's up to Nick.
Nick, do you want to hear the gym test? The gym leader dropped his fucking wallet, and your gym test is to return it to him. I'm serious.
Not my wallet.
Dude lost his wallet, and then he traveled across the desert in like 3 seconds flat, and then you have to return it to him on the other side of the desert. Lucky for me, I'd already explored most of the map, so I just used fly, and then it was like, hey bitch, I found your wallet. He's like, whoa, you came all the way across the desert? And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah. But apparently you can go back there and you can get just either some evolution items or like some uncommon like things. Like I saw one of the videos I was watching yesterday, someone got like 65 Premier Balls for like 2,500 Poké Dollars. I don't even know what they're called. Yeah. Because he's just like, I like the Premier Balls.
Oh, speaking of which, I like rarely buy anything because I guess people just buy shit in this game and just drop it everywhere because there's just
yeah, they just fell
items everywhere.
People have holes in their pockets.
The absolute only thing I've bought in this item or in this game has been Ultra Balls and Quick Balls, and that's it. I've not had to buy potions, nothing. Like everything else I've just had, and I've not run out of. And the Quick Balls are just great. I would say I have a pretty good... Catching a Pokemon for me, I'd say at least 50% of the time they just go right in the Quick Ball without any issues. And then the last 50%, I either just spam Ultra Balls at them. Usually if they're below level 40, and if they're above level 40, then I'll just hit them once with something weak.
Listen to your luck, my motherfucker. Dude, I once threw 32 balls at a Dreepy because I really wanted it. And it was level 15, and I was level 35.
Yeah, I finally caught one of them, and it was in a Quick Ball.
That was... So, I showed you... Or did I tell you I got a second shiny, and it was Meryl Yeah, I showed you the picture,
Yeah,
right?
you sent a picture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. So I was trying to catch Dreepy. I was just traveling back and forth up that river looking for Dreepy because I love Dreepy. They're really derpy and funny, and I like them. And I was like, I'm gonna find a Dreepy. And I just turn around and I see a green Meryl behind me. I'm like,
Ah,
that boy ain't right.
the boy.
So I immediately caught it.
I've not
And
seen one shiny yet. Not saying
uh,
one single one.
I mean, there's no.
Uh,
Okay, so like I was saying, so after I saw the Meryl, I was just
Mhm.
like, okay, here's a little tip for you guys. So even though there is no sound for a shiny, there's no
Yeah.
sound for a shiny appearing, which is really stupid and really difficult. If you just battle a Pokemon and stars show up in front before you start the battle, that's a shiny. So that's the way you could find shinies if you
oh,
just battle any Pokemon that looks slightly off to you, essentially.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wonder if it's because they made it so the gimme ghouls make
the Gabagool.
noise. Gabagool, yeah, sorry. Yeah, the Gabagools.
I thought they were gimme ghouls.
I
We're
I don't
just
Gab-
know.
joking. Got it. Okay. Yeah. Well, they
Yeah,
make
so
noise for a very specific reason.
yes.
You need 999 of them.
yeah. And I like because but the ones that walk around are dumb because they'll be like, here's 5 coins. They'll be like, thanks for wasting my time.
Yeah, I'll just go
Um,
climb to the top of a tower and beat the shit
Go
out of one and
fuck
get 80.
myself.
yeah, because the chests will give you, I guess the chests can give you up to 700.
50 to 80. What? I've never seen anything over 80.
No, I haven't either. Most commonly they give 50. But I
Okay.
guess when they were looking in the code, they said they can give up to 700.
I don't
So
know about that, Chief.
I mean, there's lots of random shit that happens in games that don't make any sense. So I mean,
Well,
it
I
wouldn't
get that,
surprise
but
me.
I have not seen a single person get more than 80. That's why I was saying I don't know about that.
I think the one streamer I was watching, I think he said he got like maybe like a 200 at highest.
Okay.
But they said they're looking at like the data mine. They said that at least there's a very small percentage it could give up to 700 possibly.
Ah, I understand. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Is there anything else to say about Pokemon?
No, it's a game. It's very broken. It's very fun, and Game Freak should be ashamed.
No, I mean I
The
don't
end.
disagree with that. Yeah, I mean they obviously, yeah, no, they need to do something, and I'm sure in 2 years it'll be like a very. I mean, this is definitely not cyberpunk
Oh
level of
no,
broken. Like, I don't
not
like
even
that.
close.
Yeah, like this game you can get from beginning to end.
So I have a hot take on that.
Yeah.
Right. My hot take is it's not Cyberpunk levels of broken,
Yes.
but when you look at the quality of Nintendo games and then you look at the quality of this game, it might as well be Cyberpunk levels of broken.
Oh
As I
yeah,
think
compared
this is
to
one
like
of the worst quality first party Nintendo games I've seen in probably like 20, 30 years. Like I can't think of a game that has been this bad on other Nintendo platforms in a very long time.
no, I mean I can't. I mean I couldn't even think of one really ever. I mean
Yeah.
this is Nintendo's always made sure that the stuff that they publish is
This is Nintendo's Cyberpunk. That's what I'm trying to say.
yeah. And even though this is like I mean this is a better state than some games are released. It's
Yeah.
not acceptable, and it's
I mean,
definitely
this is a better
very.
state than fucking Warzone 2.0 right now, but
Yeah, no, this is just it's definitely an oddity, and I'm curious what the ramifications will end up being for this, because I'm sure there will be some. We won't probably publicly see them,
yeah.
but I'm sure there will be some, like maybe some switching up of people that do the Pokemon games that are like the leads.
So I don't even know if that will happen, but what I do know is that nothing will probably happen because of the fact that this is the highest selling and fastest selling Pokemon game that's been released.
I think they're just gonna be like pat on the back, be like, well,
We
might not
did
be where we
great.
want it to be quality wise, but you still hit the sales goals.
I honestly do. I honestly do think that's gonna happen.
It's possible. It is definitely possible.
Like I don't think they care enough to like have any kind of consequences for releasing something this bad. And I think also on top of that that we will see repeats of stuff like this in the future. I think Nintendo's quality is going to go down more because this did so well. And I hope that's not the case, but I could see it happening.
It's interesting too. I mean, I don't think we'll see more stuff of this from Nintendo's like in-house stuff. Because this is an oddity because Nintendo owns 33% of this company.
Yeah.
So it's not like they have like the. I mean, I don't think they could stop this game from coming out if they wanted to. If they were overridden by the other shareholders.
Yeah.
And so there is that, but so Nintendo's in-house stuff, I'm sure, will probably be fine. Because, like we said, we've seen Nintendo will literally sit on a finished game forever if they want to.
Oh yeah.
And even just polish it forever.
Like Pikmin.
Like Pikmin. Or like supposedly Bayonetta 3 was done for a long time before they actually decided to give it a release date. Or even, obviously, as we know, Advance Wars has actually been done for almost a year at this point. And
when are we ever going to see that game?
Don't know. Maybe never. Who knows?
That's really upsetting if so.
Yeah. It'll probably end up being one of those things in like 20 years. They'll do like they'll be like, hey guys, it's a Switch Mini. And then one of the preloaded games will be like Advance Wars.
Advance Wars 1 and 2 remake. No! Why you gotta do me like that, bro? That's just rude.
Yes, that's what's probably gonna end up happening.
I don't want that to happen. I'd be sad.
So yeah, this is. And like I said, I'm sure that this game will probably be polished up over time. They still have the DLC to come out, but just the state that this is in. Like I said, nobody should consider it acceptable, and anyone who's upset with it, I mean, it's definitely justifiable.
And I think on the other end of the spectrum, if you enjoy the game, that's okay, but you don't have to fight tooth and nail for it. You have to at least acknowledge that this game has many flaws. Otherwise, companies will continue doing things like this. Like, don't parade a company around and just be like, well, you should just be happy with what you got, because I've literally seen people saying that. And it's like, nah, bro, shut the fuck up. They should make better games. Like, legit. They're a multi-billion-dollar industry. And I'm not even talking about Nintendo. I'm talking about the fucking Pokemon company.
Oh, well, yeah.
No, Pokemon itself is bigger than Nintendo.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying, like, they need to do better. And people should stride for a better product instead of just defending the fuck out of the Pokemon just because they're enjoying the game. You can enjoy a game and also be like, yeah, but it's kind of shit. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I think it's a good note to wrap up Pokemon on.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
Did anyone play anything else that they want to talk about this week?
I played Warzone 2, and I have a lot to talk about with that, but I don't want to talk about it this week. I'll wait till I can gather my thoughts more. Because I got a lot of thoughts on that one, too.
That is fine. Nick, do you have anything else?
No.
All right. Ready to move on to news?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Yuji Naka got arrested for insider trading. Nick.
Yeah.
Nick, Yuji Naka got arrested for insider trading.
It's definitely a sentence that's true. That is a factual sentence right now.
Did you ever think that would be a factual sentence that someone would say?
No.
No, not particularly.
It's very
funny.
Yeah. It is very funny.
How the mighty have fallen. I really don't know what they were thinking with that.
I mean, he was thinking, I need to recoup some of the costs from Balan Wonderland.
Well, yes. I mean, I guess that's true.
I mean, true.
And probably did he work with Sonic Origins? I don't know.
I don't know.
Because Sonic Origins is not good either.
Let's see what he's credited to.
Alright, let's go look at
Wikipedia.
I'm gonna type his name and it's gonna be like, yes, the man that got arrested.
Let's see here. So the most recent Sonic game he's worked on looks to be... Oh, that can't be right.
He hasn't worked on a Sonic game in ages.
Yeah, the last Sonic game he worked on was in 2006, and it was Sonic Riders.
Yikes. That should have been enough for him to be arrested.
You know what?
Right there.
You know what? No, I will defend Sonic Riders. Sonic Riders was fine. That game was fine. And he also did Sonic Rush, which was great, and we got
Rush is great.
we got
But
Funky
it would
Uncle
be
making
nothing
music
with-
for it.
That's what I was gonna say. It'd be nothing without God, why can't I think of his name?
Hideki Naganuma.
Without Hideki Naganuma.
You
that
know
would
why?
be nothing.
You know why it doesn't shock me that this man committed insider trading?
Why?
Because this is the man that made Feel the Magic XXYY and Shadow the Hedgehog.
Listen, Feel the Magic XXYY is pretty fucking good. Not gonna lie, that's a good game. Go back and play it. It's actually really good. Play with Rubber
my
Rabbit
mom,
also, which
so
is
my
the,
mom would never
sequel.
let me buy it because you figure this came out when I was in 4th grade.
I guess that makes sense.
I'm
Give it a
like,
go.
hey,
Give it
let
a
me
go.
get this
It's
game with
really weird.
the bikini lady on it, and she'd be like, "No, put that back. Play Bionicle." Like, all right, mom, whatever.
I mean,
But yeah,
he
no.
also apparently made Street Pass, Monster Manor,
Oh yeah, some of those were
and
outsourced.
Fishing, and Feed Me, whatever the fuck that is.
Feed Me.
Yeah,
Was that one of the DS, 3DS?
Street Pass. Yeah,
I don't remember that one.
I don't know either. He was the producer on those, though.
I think it would be actually correct to say that the last good thing he worked on was Sonic Riders. Because otherwise it's Sega Ages 2500, which it's just like a compilation thing. And then Phantasy Star Universe, which
I was gonna say,
like,
I mean, Phantasy Star Universe is good. Let's be honest. Phantasy Star is a
like the man hasn't produced quality since 2006. He's all tapped out.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm not seeing, but I'm looking.
Because I'm just saying, from
Oh wait,
like,
Rodea the Sky Soldier, isn't that like a fucking hidden ass gem that was on the Wii from 2015? Released
Is
like
it?
right at the end. I remember
Oh.
many people saying this game was good. It
So
was like
he
Knights and Sonic.
he was the
combined together.
producer for the Wii version. And then I guess not for the Wii U, but I don't think that really matters. You know what's funny? I remember this game. I remember seeing this game. I never played it.
I do too. I haven't played it either. I've just seen it on a lot of people's. Why didn't you play this list?
Yeah, he's credited as being a producer on it.
Yeah, I
reminds me,
mean,
I never played the other. It wasn't this game, so this is like a slight detour. But just reminded me there was a bunch of Wii games I never played, like the other two Operation Rainfall games.
I didn't either. But now's the best time to do it.
Like what was it? Pandora's Tower. Never played it.
Yeah, I never played it either.
And the other one that was the Final Fantasy guy game.
I thought that was
Oh,
Pandora's
Last
Tower.
Story.
Last Story.
Last Story.
Which was also, that game was actually supposed to be excellent. Pandora's Tower.
Yeah, that's all I.
Like good.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
What?
I'm just reading more things about Yuji Naka and Naoto Oshima, who worked together on Sonic Adventure, worked together on Ballad Wonderworld.
Yeah, they probably also work together on insider trading.
Who knows? Well, you know what's funny about that?
Yeah, what?
Not that it's funny.
No, it's pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie.
It's funny, but at the same time, it's like, whoa. But like he was bad mouthing the shit out of Square Enix. They're like, all right, motherfucker, we're gonna Martha Stewart you.
He was bad mouthing them, and then he was like, I'm gonna commit insider trading fraud using Dragon Quest. Like what?
Oh, so I'm gonna read it off of Wikipedia because it's actually funnier with context. They accused him of insider trading related to non-public information about the 2020 mobile game Dragon Quest Tact. Naka allegedly bought 10,000 shares of the developer Aiming before the information was made public. Two other former Square Enix employees were also arrested and alleged to have bought 162,000 shares between December 2019 and February 2020. So they bought shares in this company that made Dragon Quest Tact for some reason. I don't even know if it's a good game.
Well, it's probably just because it was before the game was announced. I think that's how it works. So then once the game was announced...
I figured out it was worth it. You know what I mean? Was it worth it?
I don't know. Does it say how much they actually made from it?
I can't find any information about it, so let me see here.
Or is it tapped?
It's tact.
Oh.
Like tactics, but only the first 4 letters.
Oh,
I mean, it might not even be in America. I don't even know.
No, it looks like it's on Apple.
Oh, it's on Android and iOS. Yeah, so it's like, I mean,
it's a game. It's Dragon Quest, and it probably prints them money.
Yeah,
I'm
sure it does. And it's probably also, I don't know.
You know what's weird though with that too is like I guess they would have to like prove it.
I mean, that one's not too hard to prove.
I mean, is it? Because it's like they would have to prove that he knew. Like, I can look at it and be like, wow, it sure is fishy that you bought a lot of stock before this game was announced, right? But, like, I feel like in the court of law, at least in America, I don't know how Japan's going to be, but, like, you would need to have physical evidence of, like, here is Yuji Naka getting information about this Dragon Quest game. Like, maybe if he worked on it or what have you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, he was also higher up at Square Enix to some degree, though. Wouldn't surprise me if he just knew.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's fair, too. But like I said, like, I feel like that kind of shit happens so much that, like, they would really need to have hard proof. I mean, he probably did. I'm not going to say he didn't do it. I just don't know what the legal ramifications are going to be of this for him.
Yeah, and I feel like, too, Japan, because their legal system does work a bit differently, I feel like they're, what's the word I'm looking for? Not like requirements, but kind of like standards for like arresting someone is a bit higher than here. But,
Yeah, probably.
yeah. And they don't mess around, though. They don't. Like, who was it? It was that one guy from... Did you guys ever hear the story about the... This is a big detour. Sorry. I think he was the head of... It's one of the automakers. I want to say it was Toyota. But he was doing some sort of, like, fraud inside the company. And so, like, Japan, like, they arrested him. But then he hired, like, mercenaries to smuggle him out of the country.
Oh.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No,
No.
but that's incredible.
Oh, it was like a wild story. It was not even that long ago. They smuggled him and like his family out in like was it? No, just him. They smuggled him out in like boxes that they would use to move like band equipment.
They do chop him up into pieces and then putting individual parts of him in there.
No, and then they dropped him off in like Lebanon. Japan escapes to Lebanon. Let me see if I can find
The entirety of Japan escaped to Lebanon.
Yeah, so the guy escaped. So they handed down prison term. Oh no. Yeah, he was hidden in a big box that was flown on a private jet via Turkey to Lebanon, and Lebanon has no extradition treaty with Japan. Oh, it was Nissan. That's who it was.
Okay.
And it was underreporting his compensation and breach trust and using Nissan money for personal gain.
Very cool.
He says he was innocent, but he left because he couldn't expect a fair trial in Japan, is what he said. So, but then Japan arrested like the mercenaries that he hired, and they got them in jail. So, yeah, it's a wild story. It's honestly something I could see them like turning into like a movie because it was just the most random like escape thing ever. But yeah. So yeah, that's our maybe that's what they'll do with Yuji Naka. I don't know. Smuggle him out in a big box. But I do think it's kind of weird he bought so much less shares than the other two people they arrested. Like maybe they were like, hey, do you want some quick cash? Just buy some shares of this company. Who knows? I'm sure it will all come out.
Mhm.
Yeah. Anyways. This one's a small story, then we can talk about the PlayStation games. Nintendo did announce some DLC release dates they've been talking about for a while. Switch Sports, the golf is coming out this week. Well, I guess it's a week from yesterday, the 28th.
Mhm.
So you guys will be able to play that soon. I mean, the golf could be interesting. I don't know. I still have negative interest in golf, but I'll try it. It's the least I can tell you. And then there is the Mario Kart 3 DLC, way more exciting.
Oh yeah.
It comes out on December 3rd. So there's that. Do I still have the article open with the stuff that's in there? Let's see. I don't, but I know I can find it very quickly because I'm still at the same website. There it is. And the tracks you got, if you don't remember from Nintendo Direct where they talked about it, Tour London Loop, Game Boy Advance Blue Lake, 3DS Rock Mountain, Rock Mountain. Two rocks. You don't want to get confused with the other Rock Mountain. Wii Maple Treeway, which is fantastic. And then the other cup has Tour Berlin Byways, DS Peach Gardens, Merry Mountain, which is one of those new courses, which hopefully is better than the other two that were absolute trash. And then the 3DS Rainbow Road, which is a good one. Yeah.
Okay.
And then, does that bring us? Yeah, so it's like halfway through all the DLC they're doing, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still think it's wild that they're doing DLC for this game like 10 years after it came out.
Yeah, this game won't die.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good Mario Kart. I really can't blame
Yeah.
them. I mean, it makes sense to do this, unless you're gonna do something. So this is the tricky part with where you are in Mario Kart. Like you made a big Mario Kart, like a good one. What unless you're gonna go like hog wild and add something like absolutely crazy, like this game is kind of like really good where it is. Like why upend the tea table just to kind of or reinvent the wheel when there's something
Yeah.
good that you can just add on to. Like I don't even know what they would add on to Mario Kart anyways. You already got planes and hovercrafts and anti-grav and submarines. I don't know. Unless you want to make it more like Diddy Kong Racing. Just have some weird overworld thing.
I
don't know.
love that.
I know. I mean, Diddy Kong
I
Racing.
wish we had another Diddy Kong Racing. I think it's one of the best kart games ever.
I do like it a lot. It's been a long time since I played it though.
Still holds up. It really does. It's still really good.
There was something that was annoying about it though, and I don't remember what it was, and I'm not going to remember it right now. But yeah, I don't know. That's it. That's all I got for DLC from Nintendo. You want to talk about your PlayStation thing?
Absolutely. All right.
Yeah.
So we talked a few weeks ago about how Sony removed the expiry dates on games, so you can't see when games are leaving the service now. And at the time, we could have been seen as, you're just overreacting, whatever, that sort of thing. Nothing's going to happen. It's just gone. Well, overnight, a game was just removed from the service randomly. And then the PS5 version appeared, which there is no upgrade from the PS4 version. So it was removed from the service, and then the PS5 version was put up. So they literally removed it from their PS Plus Extra service, and then released the PS5 version with no upgrade path as a way to try to push people to buy the PS5 version.
Fancy.
Yes. So Ys 8, Lacomosta of Dana. I don't know how to pronounce this. I'm very sorry. I don't fucking care though. Also, yeah. Plenty of people just started being like, "Oh, those publishers, they're being dirty. They probably just did that themselves." No, Sony did it. Sony did it without even contacting the publishers. And the publishers were like, we had no say in this and we don't know why it happened. So, yeah, it really puts into perspective just how bad the service can be. If Sony was like, yeah, I don't want this game here because I want to sell it for an inflated price because here's the new version that's released and people will buy it, then they could just do that. And that's really shittily. Like, that's a really shitty thing to do. This is, I believe, the second time this has happened. And the first time was fixed almost immediately and was said to be an error. And now Sony's saying, oh, it was an error a day later after the PS5 release when the publisher started saying, hey, what happened to our game? Why did you take it off your service without giving us a heads up? So we couldn't even let our fans know. And now we're the ones in hot water and they think we're trying to rip them off. And they were pretty upset, to be completely honest about it.
Yeah.
So yeah. They said, "Oh, it was an error. We'll get it back on there." So again, an error. So they'll get it back on there, and that just really seems very shady to me to have it happen twice, and for them to attempt to blame the publisher twice. It seems very, very bait and switch. Like if we remove it and we release the PS5 version at the same time, then we could push people to buy that. That's really what it seems like. And if this keeps happening, I have no idea what the fuck Sony's thinking at this point. They're being absolute pieces of shit. So yeah. So there's that. I guess that's really all I have to say about that. But yeah, it's just another example of why Sony's new service is absolute garbage tier.
Maybe it will get better.
6 months later and we haven't yet. You literally still have to search for one of the PSP games and know it's in the store to find it because it's not listed on the service even though it is there. So you have to know by like some kind of website, like a Kotaku or a Polygon or whatever, that game exists on the service, and then you have to search for it to ever know that it was on the service.
Yeah, it makes absolutely no sense.
It's fucking garbage.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's really all I have to say. That's it. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Okay.
Because we already had like an example of something I brought up like I think it was a month ago now. So
I don't even think it was that long ago.
Yeah, it may have been like 3 weeks or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was pretty recent.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's just what happens.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we wrap up then?
No, I think that's good.
All right. Well then, thank you everyone for listening to us tonight. Don't forget to find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google, Amazon, wherever you get your podcasts. You can check out our website, game-crunch.com. Has all the episodes available there. You want to reach out to us, we're on Facebook, Twitter, as long as it exists. And or you can send us an email at gamecrunchcast@gmail.com. Brandon,
Hey, how you doing?
any final thoughts?
Nope. I think I'm good.
Nick?
I'm alright.
All right. Well, that said, my name is Mike Anastasia. You can find me online. I'm Clash Penguin. And until next week, game on.
Hello.
Game.
Oh, and just one random thing I wanted to say, because I think I forgot to mention this earlier. But I think one of the funniest things about Pokemon Violet and Scarlet is the first mod that came out for it.
Yeah.
Someone modded it so it removed the Ed Sheeran song.
I didn't even know there was
God.
one.
Yeah, remember that music video that they put out? I think I mentioned it like a week or two ago. Like one of the trailers.
Yeah, I haven't heard the song.
It's not bad. But they have it play over the end credits.
Oh,
Yeah, someone just
that's
like
hilarious.
made a mod just to get that out of there. That was their top priority.
That's hilarious. It's pretty good.
Yeah, very random. I mean, the song's fine. I
Real
don't like
quick,
Ed Sheeran's music. But...